What's up, smooth brains? So Thanksgiving's right around the corner, and here in Florida it's not feeling very festive considering we have a massive hurricane on the way. I'm not sure whether to go out and get, stuff for Thanksgiving or water and toilet paper. I mean, it's November. Mariah Carey's halfway to Frosted. She's fixing to come out in full force, and I'm not even sure, what to do. So I figured I'd make things feel a little more festive with a Thanksgiving tier list. Hop on the old bandwagon, get all them views. So let's go through some of our tiers here. We have like Mama used to make, and then that's our God tier, cause like Mama used to make it is about as good as it can get. And then we got Bussin'. Bussin' is reserved for it's really good. Anyone could make this really good, but it ain't like Mama used to make. And then we have the classic A, that's pretty good. It will suffice. It's not going on my plate. Absolutely not. And Thanksgiving is ruined. There's always that one person who brings just something that is so bad that why would you bring this to Thanksgiving? It doesn't make sense. It's either not a Thanksgiving food or it's just bottom of the barrel Thanksgiving food out the can. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But let's get started. So, we're going to start off with jellied cranberry. Jellied cranberry is one of those things where it could either be really good or it's not going on my plate. But I'd say overall it will suffice, cuz I love cranberry, but at the same time I've had some really bad jellied cranberry. But honestly, the canned stuff half the time is far superior than homemade jellied cranberry. I don't know why. I don't know if people don't do it right, but I think it will suffice. Now, since we did jellied cranberry, let's do cranberry sauce. Now, cranberry sauce is one of my favorite Thanksgiving foods because it's like the only time of the year you could really whip this bad boy out. But I'd probably put it in bussin'. Cranberry sauce, you eat it warm, oh my god. Everybody always eats it cold cranberry sauce. No, you gotta eat it warm, nice and hot. It is the best thing ever. And the best thing about cranberry sauce is it's even good as leftovers. Cranberry sauce, you cannot go wrong with it. Alright, next up, biscuits. I'd never really thought of biscuits being necessarily a Thanksgiving food. Maybe if you're a damn Yankee, but down here in the South, that's just every day. We eat that shit for breakfast. So biscuits are always good. So I guess I don't know. This is a Thanksgiving tier list, not a Southern breakfast tier list. So I guess I'll put it and it will suffice, because if it's on the table, it's going on my plate hands down. Another Southern tradition, we got cornbread. Cornbread is I always think of tomato soup, not necessarily Thanksgiving, but I don't think I can put it not going on my plate, because man, do I love cornbread. But I don't know, cornbread sometimes is pretty dry. There's nothing worse than some dry cornbread. I don't know, if it's Thanksgiving, I need room for other stuff. I don't think at the Thanksgiving spread I'm gonna be putting cornbread on my plate. What? Red wine? I don't know who made this tier list, but red wine? Is that like a Thanksgiving staple I've never heard of? Red wine seems like a bad idea. It seems like something to get my aunts fighting. I don't know. I guess it's not going on my plate. I don't know if I'm whipping out the red wine at Thanksgiving. But I will say, man, you bring out the apple pie. I don't care what pie it is. If it's Thanksgiving, that bad boy going on my plate. But personally, I don't like the big chunks that are in apple pie. The big apple pie chunks, I don't know, sometimes they're too crunchy. I'll put it in A, that's pretty good. I'm not going to turn down apple pie, but I have to say, pumpkin pie now. That might be pushing like mama used to make territory right there. Pumpkin pie, hands down, one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving and Christmas. A lot of people don't eat it on Christmas, but pumpkin pie, the best. I'll eat it all year round. I know it ruins it, but I'll eat it all year round. Love me some pumpkin pie, and if you don't, you're lying to yourself. Like maybe I should have saved pumpkin pie for last, considering it's the best, but hey, we're just going as I see them. Alright, squash. I never know how to feel about squash. I've had squash I've really liked, and I've had squash that has ruined my Thanksgiving. But it really depends. There's like sweet Seminole squash, and then there's like, why are we eating this? There's no flavor. What is this good for? I'm gonna say absolutely not. I'm not picking up the squash at the spread. It's got to be a very specific squash, and for that, absolutely not. All right, Brussels sprouts. Once again, who made this tier list? Brussels sprouts. I don't think we usually have Brussels sprouts on the old Thanksgiving table, but I mean, Brussels sprouts do slap, so I'm gonna say it will suffice. Cause if I might go get Brussels sprouts on my second round. You fill up your plate the first time with the turkey and everything you want, and then the second time you're like adding a little variety in there. So corn. I don't know about y'all, but we always have corn at Thanksgiving, but I don't think corn's going on my plate at Thanksgiving. You got bigger fish to fry, You're not worried about that corn. It's going to get stuck in your teeth and ruin the rest of your meal. I could see people liking corn on Thanksgiving, but I don't know about myself. Now, a tradition in my family, every year, my mom makes dinner rolls to go with our Thanksgiving dinner. And she doesn't just make these dinner rolls normally now. She makes the dough. She makes everything. It is delicious. Half the time we eat them out the pan before it even gets on the table. So I'm going to say like mama used to make, because, well, mama does make them and they're freaking delicious. Alright, so next up, I don't even know how you pronounce this. I didn't know this is what they were called. Escalloped potatoes. I personally really like these. Now, I don't like it when they're undercooked and they're too crunchy, but man, whenever it's hot and they're all soft, that shit bussin', honestly. Like, you can't go wrong with those. They're freaking delicious. Alright, next up, the one time a year you'll eat this bad boy, stuffing. I've had really, once again, I feel like Thanksgiving is either really good or really bad, because you spend Thanksgiving with so many, like, I don't know about y'all, but in my family, sometimes we go up to see my northern family, sometimes we stay down here in the south, so sometimes the stuffing's slapping because it's, southern style, and sometimes it's that midwestern style that just, man, it's just like putting sawdust in your mouth. So I think the stuff in it will suffice. You got to put it in that middle road. If you're below, I don't know, Kentucky, it's pretty good. I think anything north of Kentucky, you're looking at Thanksgiving being ruined. I look forward to my stuffing every year. Sweet potato casserole. Now, I'm gonna put a very, very big distinction on this. We're talking about the sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on top. You add them marshmallows on top, you're in like mama used to make categories there. Man, I love me some. Alright, just thinking about it, instantly up there and like mama used to make. I want some right now. But what about that gravy? You can't go wrong with gravy. It's either really good or bussin'. Or like mama used to make her bussin'. I think it's bussin'. You add some gravy. Oh, mashed potatoes right here. Oh, going up in the bussin'. You can't go wrong with some gravy and mashed potatoes. If you eat your mashed potatoes without any gravy, you're a psychopath. So next up on our list, we got our ham. Now, every year you got the special ham. You got that sweet ham, that glazed ham. glazed ham, that is bussin'. You can't beat glazed ham, especially if it's that honey baked ham. Ooh, mama, it's just so good. All right, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is always pretty good. That's gonna get thrown up there in the A. That's pretty good, cause you can't go wrong with mac and cheese. All right, what next? Oh, sparkling juice. Now you see another item where I'm just like, who put? Is this like? I don't understand. All right, sparkling juice, absolutely not. It's like red wine, except there's no point. Absolutely not. Roasted vegetables. Now roasted vegetables are pretty damn good, especially if they're a little salty. So I'm gonna put that in the. You know what? It will suffice. I've had some I've liked and some that I was like, could be better, could be worse. But for the most part, I think it's a pretty middle road. You might get that on your second or third plate, but I don't think you're going straight in. You're not sitting around Thanksgiving like, what I really want? Some roasted vegetables, or at least I haven't met anyone who has. All right, let's see here. Creamed corn. To be honest with you, I don't exactly remember what the hell creamed corn is. Is that just like loose corn? Because in this picture, it kind of looks like a damn cake. So I don't really know. It's probably not going on my plate. But if it's loose corn, maybe it will suffice. But I don't know. Thanksgiving, you got biscuits, you got stuffing, you got apple pie, you got potatoes, you got sweet potato. Why are you going for the creamed corn? I think it just fits in the same category as corn. No one's looking forward to creamed corn on Thanksgiving. I don't think so. Y'all can duke it out in the comments. What does this even say? Green bean casserole? Oh, hell yeah. Green bean casserole. Now that's something to look forward to. I wouldn't say it's bussin'. Like, I'm not jumping for joy when they bring out the green bean casserole, but I know a lot of people are. So I'm gonna put that in the A. That's pretty good category, because come on now. You can't go wrong with a little green bean casserole. Alright, last but not least. Now, before we put turkey on the list, if you've watched the video up until this point, you must have enjoyed it at least a little bit, so please consider leaving a like. Now, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe or even comment, but I will say, if you disagree with anything on this list, I encourage you to leave a comment. Alright, let's see turkey. Now, this is going to be a very hot take, because, the Thanksgiving turkey, that's like the cream of the crop. Everyone's looking forward to the turkey. Now, I will say, about half of the Thanksgivings I've ever had, because, in my family, we take turns with the turkey. One year we'll make the turkey, the other year my uncle will make it, sometimes my northern family will make it, it all depends. I personally think it will suffice. Sometimes the turkey's so dry that you just eat it and you're like, what are we doing here? Is this a piece of bark or is this a turkey? Now, if it's that moist turkey, perfectly seasoned, is bussin'. I wouldn't say it's like mama used to. But I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Later on this month, I will be going to Vegas. It's my first time ever going out west, so I might make like a, a little vlog compilation of some cell phone clips that I take. I'm not sure. That'll kind of maybe be my face reveal. I'm not quite sure on that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. I'm probably gonna put up a couple videos in between now and Thanksgiving, but this is just something to kind of set them. Last second, squash ruined my Thanksgiving. I had some bad squash one year. Fuck squash. Alright, y'all guys have a good day. Peace.